What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. In this video, we are doing an afternoon update for the NBA slate tonight. Also touch on my PrizePicks plays that I'm looking at for today. So we got news a couple hours ago that Cole Anthony is out once again today. He was out last time out, but also Gary Harris is not going to play today. And Harris drew the start last game, and he played not very well as usual. He played 24 minutes, put up 9 fantasy points. Basically, Gary Harris has been so bad for fantasy over the past couple of years. He's averaging less than half of a fantasy point per minute. So you take him out. They said they're going to start Michael Mulder in his place. He's only $3,100, so he looks to be a pretty good value play. But we'll touch on some of the other things also that look appealing today. So let's get into it. Hit the like button if you enjoy the video. Subscribe. Check out PrizePicks. Here, use my promo code process for deposit match up to $100. I got 4 plays right now. They do not have the Jalen Suggs. They don't have the Magic guards on the board right now. So if they add them and Jalen Suggs' fantasy score is below 30, I take the over on that. But right now I got Mo Bamba over 31.5. He's been playing a lot better, playing big minutes. Well, not huge minutes, but north of 30 in most close games. He got up to 35 against Brooklyn where he was playing well. He's averaging 33 in just 30 minutes. He's a solid point per minute type of guy. This game should be a fast-paced game. The Magic, especially the Bucks, have played at a fast pace. They allow some threes. So I think Bamba, given some of the lack of bodies, they still have a bunch of depth guys, but if this game is close, I would say Bamba would play north of 30. Edwards and Ingram, I like the back and forth between the two. I think both look very good today for DFS, so I might as well use them on PrizePicks. 35 for both of them, 36 you need for Edwards. Not too much of a big deal when they're playing in one of the best games to target for fantasy. Edwards is averaging 40. The last couple of games, last game the minutes were an issue, only 28 or 26. He was on pace to crush whatever PrizePicks had him at, but he's been well over 30 most times out. And then Ingram, we're going to see him be consistently over 40. I think the 35 is pretty low today. As soon as early in the beginning of the season, he was well over 40. He's been not the best since he's been back, but tough matchups in some of these against Miami. The Clippers been playing better, so not too big of a concern for me. He's still shooting the ball a lot. Still has a high usage rate, and he's been pretty effective shooting the ball. So I really like taking the over on Brandon Ingram, and then I'll be able to take the over on Giannis today, 53.5. He coming off of 30-20 game against the same Orlando front court. He only played 30 minutes because it wasn't competitive in the fourth. If you play those extra 6 minutes, who knows? He might have approached 85 fantasy points given the pace that he was at. Wouldn't be shocked if he crashes the glass once again today. Their rebounding is bad, even though they have 2 7-footers that start. Somehow they still struggle to rebound. Cole Anthony's not there, who's a very good rebounder for a guard. Replacing him with Michael Mulder is not going to help. So those are the 4 picks I got right now. Over on Edwards, over on Ingram, over on Giannis, and over on Mo Bamba. Going back to DraftKings, looking at some of these Magic players, they are right now the best team to target in terms of a value perspective. You have a number of guys below $4,000. If we look at Popcorn Machine, we can see that some of these minutes were a concern last game if you just look at the box score, but none of the starters played into the fourth. They didn't even check back in after midway through the third. Mulder came in at the end of the third. He played the whole fourth. Robin Lopez played from the middle of the third to the whole fourth. You had Hampton catch fire. He was awesome. He played 28 minutes, most of that coming in the second half. So you had just the closing lineup was Mulder, Robin Lopez, Brakakis, Hampton, and Mo Wagner. So I don't really expect that to happen in a close game. You would expect, it to be these 5 here. Maybe throw in Terrence Ross instead of, Gary Harris. But in this situation on DraftKings, they are just really nicely priced. Point guard, I'm still going Jalen Suggs. He played 25 minutes. That was in basically 3 quarters. Didn't play in the fourth. And normally he should play north of 30 without Cole Anthony. Just a lot of usage. Took 15 shots. He's not been the best shooter, but before that 3 straight games where he was at least respectable. Gets you usage, more opportunities with the ball in his hands to make up plays with the assists. So at 5K, I still like him because I think he can get you 7 to 8x upside. Hampton went off for us last time out. 42 fantasy points at $3,200. His price tag has jumped by a K. He's still a good value play, but he's not my favorite. I would go down to Michael Mulder, $3,100, basically min priced. starting, so I wouldn't be shocked if he plays as many minutes as Gary Harris would have played last time out, which he played 25 and without playing the fourth. So I would say that you could see him play into the, if he does play in the fourth, it'll be 30 plus minutes. He did have a lot of usage when he did come into the game, 12 shots in 16 minutes. He shot the ball well for the Warriors last year. So I definitely like him. He's one of the best value plays on the Magic side. And then, so those are my favorites. I would say that Franz Wagner would be my third favorite. Terrence Ross would be my fourth favorite. And then I'd probably look to one of the big guys as my fifth favorite. Probably 3 or 4 Magic players isn't the worst type of deal if you're building like a cash lineup. Right now, if we get SGA out, you can kind of mix it up. But right now, give me Suggs, Michael Mulder. I still like to get up to, at small forward, a very cheap Anthony Edwards. Definitely want to try to get up to Brandon Ingram as well. Plug him in the guard or forward spot. So you get a little back and forth between these two guys that are underpriced. And then throw in Franz Wagner. $4,100. Basically a fluke game. Couldn't have had a worse game for fantasy. 6.5 and 21 minutes. Normally he's playing 30 plus in close games. If he's playing well, 34, 35. Not really worried about one game. His price tag has come way down for some reason. He was 55 for 55 in the 5K range and high 4K range. All of a sudden, he's barely above 4,000. Doesn't make a lot of sense with them not having their highest usage player out there in Cole Anthony. And could see them, if the game is competitive, run like a 9-man rotation. But who knows with Orlando? They still have a bunch of bodies at the end of the bench. Now that we got the value, I'll be able to pay up for Giannis. And boom, that's kind of the 6 players I got locked in right now. 3 Magic players that are very underpriced and give you upside. Edwards, Ingram, Giannis as the studs. So that's basically it for the DraftKings kind of updates. Let's talk about FanDuel. All right, on FanDuel, I kind of shook it up a little bit. I still like Edwards and Ingram. They are just kind of staples right now just because they're so cheap on both sides. I love this game. I want to get a piece of it. Might as well get a couple of the highest usage players on each side. Suggs, 6K. Different than 5K, but I still like him. There's not a ton of great point guard options in that range, in the 5 to 6K range. Now that Jaylen Brown is going to play, Smart isn't appealing. Lonzo, he's fine, but he's definitely like the third option behind DeRozan and LaVine. You're getting Suggs, who should get a big usage uptick, and I just like him a lot more than like McConnell, Clarkson, Schroeder. Now isn't that much. It's not very interesting with Brown there. Edwards, Ingram, don't have to talk about them too much. And then I like Giannis, just to pay up for him as a superstar on the slate. And Bobby Portis is 63. You can save a little bit of money at center, go with Bobby Portis. Or you can go with Wendell Carter, who's also affordable. But Portis should be able to have success in the matchup, once again like he did last time out, where he played 30-plus minutes and he dropped 45, pulling down 15 boards. So they will be able to crash the glass against this Magic team. No matter how big they are, they still struggle to rebound for some reason. And that's about it for the update. Thank you for watching. Best of luck tonight. If there's any more changes, any more big time news that we get, I'll have the updates on Twitter at the DFS Process, so you can check that out. And I'll see you all next time. Best of luck tonight.